bow, checka wow wow. Oh, that's not in focus. How do I... There we go. Okay, that's totally intrusive. But so, I wanted to share with you guys this keyboard that I grabbed from REPC today. It was not too cheap, but it's not sort of an easy thing to find. It's not rare per se, but it's not common for sure. So this is a... Oh dear God, this is going to be a mess. I'm sorry. This is a... You want to just shout at me? Why don't you? This is a Maxim. What is this? This is a KB201USB, I believe. It's a USB ergonomic keyboard. Now, it's going to go in and out of focus a lot here, and I'm really sorry about that. I'm just trying out a new camera that I brought from school. See if I can focus on that. No? Well, yeah, this might not be viable for regular use, because I am literally here. In fact, I'll just... Can you see my reflection there? There I am. Can you see this giant camera that I'm holding? In fact, it's better if I hold down the focus button because you can see me. But yeah, so sorry, this is sort of an experiment with this new camera. It's also very late at night. My mom is asleep. So this is this Maxim keyboard that I grabbed by Kinesis Corporation. They make a lot of ergonomic keyboards, and it may not initially seem very ergonomically capable, I guess is the right way to say that, but you'll soon see that if you do something like this, it actually splits in half. And you know, I should have grabbed a tripod if I was a good YouTube person, but I'm not. So it actually does split in half like that, and it's sort of flimsy, as you can see. It's a little bit wobbly and crappy, but in fact, if I put the two halves back together and tilt it on its end, you sort of see that it just sort of flexes. So I didn't really know much about this thing. I just checked it out on eBay when I saw the price that they had for it at REPC. Was like, oh, I'll ask for 25% off and see if they'll take it, and they did. So the guys there are willing to give me a good deal. So this is sort of what everyone thinks of when they think of an ergonomic keyboard. That really tiny picture that I used on Microsoft Bing image search. That guy right there. This focusing is ridiculous. That guy, and there's actually a bunch of those still lying around at the place I work. They're just popular enough and they lasted long enough that they just stayed there, and people still happen to have some on their desk that they either throw away or they insist on continuing to use with the odd arrow keys. Let's see if I can zoom in on this at all. I don't know how Bing works. The strange sort of diamond-shaped arrow keys that are totally out of focus. You know what? I think I see why I don't have a professional DSLR. Trying to make this work for shooting videos. I really need a good camcorder. Anyway, so very much unlike this abortion, which is the current Microsoft flagship ergonomic keyboard. This is the Microsoft Sculpt Ergo Desktop, I believe is what this is called. Comes with 3 units, actually 4 units. The Microsoft Sculpt Ergonomic keyboard by itself. The mouse, the 10 key. It's very early in the morning. I'm very tired. And the gigantic Sculpt mouse, which is big even for my hands, and they expect regular users to use it. So, yeah, not teeny tiny. This thing is the stupidest thing, because the one part that I haven't shown you is the wireless receiver. Little Bluetooth, or not Bluetooth, their proprietary wireless dongle that they require you to use with these things. And of course they designed it so it's the most weak part of the entire setup. So it's, in fact, you know what, this is a complete disaster, but right down there, sort of at the end of my fuzzy fingertip right there, you can see there's a little dongle sticking out of there, and that thing is made out of the cheapest, chintziest plastic you've ever seen. And that is the single hardware-locked wireless dongle that you need to use with this keyboard. If you break that dongle, you need a new $100, $130 keyboard and mouse and 10 key. It is a joke. If a user wants to bring the 10 key home with their work laptop to do some work, they're accounting, they do a lot of work in Excel, they take that home, they happen to leave it in their bag with a single key pressed or some papers against them, and it compresses it and presses down a key, the battery drains. It's really, really primo. So here's some other Kinesis Corporation keyboards that have been manufactured. We actually have a few of these ones on the top left there at the place that I work. This one I've also seen pictures of a lot. That one looks really interesting. I'd really like to get a hand on that and see how that is. Good for touch typists. There's a lot of ergonomic keyboards. Oh god, do they also make that mouse? Jesus Christ. There's a lot of special orders that people get through ergonomic requests. The place that I work, and like, I guess those are lawsuits waiting to happen. So a lot of people will, oh, my wrist hurts, or then people actually do have problems with their tendons or whatever. So a lot of cool keyboards. I really, really like the look of this thing. It's just ridiculous. I really want to give it a try. Not like this isn't ridiculous. I just don't understand why it's so cheaply made. God, this is some pro videography right here. I should grab my tripod. Is that in focus? More or less. Okay. So I have put the nicest Canon DSLR, at least as of 2012 or so, on the world's cheapest tripod. So, really quick, I'm going to do a few little typing demonstrations, because I'm a kind of a fast typist, I should say. I'll do it in both configurations just for the hell of it. It really does feel kind of cheap to type on, so it's a typing speed test. Oh my goodness, there's a typing test built into Bing. Let me go ahead and see if I can scoot this out a little bit. I'm just running a couple of malware scans on my brother's computer. So I'm just using this one, and I just opened the Edge browser, Windows 10 Edge browser. So, start typing here, and it'll tell me my words per minute. Alright, so in the regular keyboard layout, a lion was sleeping in his lair, and a mouse not looking where he was going, and over the mighty beasts. Oopsie. Here are my excuses that I'm not familiar with this keyboard. Nose and elbow against it. Okay. The line that is about 68 there. I've gotten up to about 93 or so on my IBM Model M, but also I sort of messed up there. Let's do it again. I won't talk this time. Sometimes it's also early in the morning. Excuses. Oops. Let's try that again. That's cool that they actually got it built in. It's kind of interesting to see Microsoft and Google sort of fight to make the best browser with the most little toys built in. See, I mess up immediately. .68 again. So let's try like this. It's really hard to see. I think the focal point is about there, so I'll just sort of hold it up. It's very dirty, but also it really does just flex a lot. Like, it's not made very well. I don't know about the date that this thing was made, but let's see. Maxim keyboard USB, KB201USB, the model number. Yeah, Kinesis Corp has an 800 number on it, but made in Germany. Interesting. Also does have the tilt knobs. I won't do a segment in each one. Well, let's see how this works. That's kind of weird. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, it's also kind of high up off the thing. You should really have a wrist pad or just have general good posture and be able to keep your wrists off the keyboard. But hopefully it's still in focus. Let's try it about this angle. Let's try it again. If my internet would cooperate, come on. Come on. You know what, let's run a speed test again. Maybe it'll realize that I'm trying to test its speed and speed up, as it often does. It's going to be a big edit for this video. Dang, ISP is just giving us the gentle bone today. Really interesting. Only 2 drops in the past hour. Let's say I'll do it for 1 minute and see how that goes. So, yeah. See how we do. See how I do. That's not bad, 85. I was up in the 120s there for a second. That was actually kind of surprising. This is the only typing test that I've really seen that sort of updates constantly, or at least does it in a visible way, because when you do touch typing, you sort of get focused in on the text. At least you try to do. And then they started using some very weird sentence structure a little above there. I did a lot better that way, and the thing is, my wrists are less comfortable when they're sort of tightened together like that. So that's kind of cool. Part of the reason I didn't go out to REPC with the intention of buying a keyboard, of course. I saw this on there, saw it was a funky little ergonomic keyboard, saw that it was small, compact. I know I also have this little separate 10 key because I'm regrettably a business student and I do a lot of keying on the 10 key. So I figured, you know, my DOS keyboard, which is the one that I currently use, has sort of been not doing too great. Some of the keys stopped working and various things. It's also very noisy, of course, and I think that if I can get a relatively good compact keyboard like this, but yeah, for a relatively good price, they had listed for $40. They wanted $40 for it. I asked for 30, and he said, okay, sure. So yeah, we'll see if this is a good viable alternative, and it's not like you're picking it up and just moving all the time. It just does have sort of a wiggly, sort of plasticky sound and feel to it, but yeah, it'll be interesting on to see how that goes as far as using this guy more frequently. Yeah, it's pretty clean too. There's some food crumbs on the inside, as most computer users like to eat over their keyboard like a... I want to do the 30-second again, because up to about the 30-second mark, it's pretty easy to type all that. Oh no, it started freezing. Oh well, how embarrassing. Anyway, this is the Kinesis Corporation Maxim. Made in Germany, if you believe that. Also, I just set the white balance of the camera, you probably noticed from the last shot. So yeah, that's kind of cool. $30 for a keyboard that seems to be, you know, fully functioning. What do you know? Let's try that outro one more time. So I hope you guys like this look at the Kinesis Corporation Maxim keyboard. Didn't really get a date for this thing. I went on Kinesis's website. They don't really have too much information on there about, you know, the models that they've had out and when this thing may have been made. But yeah, I did learn that through their website that they are actually a Washington State-based company, privately owned corporation. So there you go, Kinesis Maxim, pretty cool. I will maybe give you updates on how it runs as my daily driver keyboard.